Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl, your diva and knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where I'm always serving you the best of wisdom and knowledge. Your favorite non-biased YouTube female content creator that goes in on men and as well as females in the black YouTube sector. With that being said, I thought it was imperative that I did my series of toxic relationships. Yes. As you already know, it has already been hitting the headlines. All of these volatile relationships are slowly but surely getting exposed. All of these relationship goals, these couples who we've been idolizing their relationships, idolizing their marriages, not even realizing that behind closed doors, they have relationships and marriages that are way more toxic than we could ever imagine. So I thought it was imperative that I discuss this because I am so sick and tired of black men and black women, these dating coaches, these content creators. Every time a black man is beating on a white woman, here comes the Bitter Sisterhood Committee. They want to go in and upload their content, talking about how white women, they end up with the same black men like black women do. Then if it's not the Bitter Sisterhood Committee, it's the Bitter Brothers that also got to jump on their content as soon as they find out a black woman has been physically abused by her white boyfriend, or either the black female, she either abused and beat up her white companion. So they are so quick to want to upload every time a black woman is either getting abused or she's abusing her significant other. And like I said, the sisters are doing it as well. When Dr. Dre's situation came out, sisters was going in. They couldn't wait to use Dr. Dre's volatile marriage as a reference to prove that, see, guess what? These white women, they don't have it no easier than us. They get with a black man and honey, they still be going through. So it's always black content creators that want to keep promoting this narrative that black women are problematic, or if it's not black women, it's black men that are problematic, when it has nothing to do with color. A toxic ass person is just a toxic ass person. And I'm so tired of you content creators always constantly making everything black and white. It has nothing to do with color. Has everything to do with a person just being straight damn dysfunctional. Now, I thought it was imperative that I got into this because there's been a lot of relationships, these Hollywood, not Hollywood, these Hollywood and Hollywood relationships that everybody are idolizing. It's all coming to the forefront that everything is not what it appears to be. Just because something looks shiny does not make it gold. We seen recently Quavo and Saweetie, their elevator incident. Then there was Chad Wheeler a couple of months ago who physically assaulted his black fiance, and her photo went viral where you can tell she had been physically attacked by her Caucasian fiance. And this is not nothing that's new that's going on. Recently, the newest is Chet Hanks, known as Tom Hanks' son. There's a video going around all over YouTube. It's going viral of his black girlfriend allegedly hitting him with a pan. I really couldn't make clear of it because when I did see the video, all I saw was when I heard a little scuffling. That's when the video showed after that part went black where she was supposedly hit him. That part was not shown, but the camera came back on and it showed his face was bleeding. I think like his left side of his face was bleeding, and he basically alleged that his fiance had hit him, with the pan. And she stated that she didn't do it, and the camera didn't show that she did do it, but we can't say for sure she did or she didn't. She probably got lucky if she did hit him, and so happened the camera went blank. So whatever the case is with the situation, that's why I want to talk about it, because it's just happening a lot. There's also a soccer player by the name of Danry Vasquez. His domestic assault towards his wife went viral. Only difference was they was not in an elevator. They was coming down some stairs in an apartment complex or something, and it was caught on camera. And when I say he literally whipped her ass, I mean, and I don't say that in a way that I'm proud of, he literally beat the piss out of her. You know, he dragged her. If I'm not mistaken, y'all should see a clip of it if I remember to put it in the beginning of this video. So basically, this happens a lot. These Hollywood couples that we idolize, that we want to claim to have relationship goals. That's the reason why you can't, idolize these individuals. You cannot put their relationships on a pedestal. And a lot of y'all are just damn diehard fans for these celebrities. Y'all act like these celebrities can't do no wrong. Y'all get mad when people have an opinion about Jay-Z and Beyonce, like y'all part of their family or something. Like, God forbid if somebody says something, or if somebody has an opinion about Nicki Minaj and her petty pedophile husband. The Barbs want to get upset because people are basically going in on the fact that Nicki made a dumb decision to decide to get knocked up by Pookie petty pedophile. But that's a whole nother story. That has nothing to do with the subject at hand. Basically, the subject at hand is these toxic relationships. And again, I'm so sick of you content creators. Y'all can't wait for a black woman to get bruised or a black man to get attacked. So y'all have new fuckery material that you could upload on your platform, and it's just so ridiculous, and it's beside the point, black or white. The problem is that there's a lot of couples, not just in a celebrity status. There are all kind of couples. There are hundreds of couples that are in volatile, toxic relationships, meaning that they have made it normal to be abusive towards each other. They have made it normal to physically put their hands on each other. They have made it normal to verbally abuse each other. They have made it normal. You have a lot of couples, a lot of people don't really see these couples for who they are and how they really function with each other behind closed doors. I don't care how much you people see these couples in events, smiling together. You see them taking photos, see them taking pictures, and they seem so happy. They got a brand new Bentley, a brand new Rolls Royce. Everything seems so wonderful and dandy. And then here it is, the headline news that comes out, athlete physically assaults girlfriend, or girlfriend physically, jumps on, rapper, and vice versa. All of these people y'all idolize, and y'all want to be shocked and appalled when y'all find out, that this image they was portraying, that it was not authentic, that it's been a very chaotic relationship, a relationship filled with drama, filled with physical, emotional, and mental abuse. And a lot of that occurs with these Hollywood couples for many reasons. Some of the things I felt needed to be discussed is that it's very difficult being a couple in the public eye. It's a lot of pressure because you have to constantly put on that front. Like, I remember when that incident happened in the elevator with Jay-Z and Beyonce. And I remember when Solange had basically slapped Jay-Z. And, Beyonce was in the middle. And I'm sure it was a difficult space for her to be in, because here it is, it's her husband who evidently had done something foul. Jay-Z did something foul, which is why Solange took it so deep and personal, and she felt the need to come to her sister's defense by putting Jay-Z in his place, because family knows family. And maybe she knew her sister had gone through so much disrespect with Jay-Z at the time, and she probably got to a place to where she was fed up with how Jay-Z was treating her sister. Because I felt like if Jay-Z was not in the wrong, I don't think Beyonce would have just stood there and allowed Solange to just physically attack her husband if Jay-Z was really in the right. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But I noticed Beyonce would not come to Jay-Z's defense. She more so guarded her sister in that elevator. I remember when Solange threw her wallet at Jay-Z or however, I can't recall events. And Beyonce picked up the wallet and handed it back to her sister. And I remember there was a security guard standing in between the both of them. And Beyonce would not defend her husband. And I remember when they came out of the building. At this point, the video hadn't gone viral. All of this came viral later. And I remember when they stepped outside the entrance right after the elevator incident had occurred, and how they automatically was robotic to the cameras. Beyonce turned on that smile immediately. You could tell Jay-Z couldn't hide it as much. I remember him taking his hand and kind of rubbing his face, and Solange had evidently looked at pissed like, I'ma still fuck you up. She still had that I still want to fuck you up some more look on her face. And you could tell Beyonce just smiled like, cameras around. It's automatic. These celebrities, they're very robotic when it comes to these cameras. They have trained themselves to smile and laugh and be happy no matter what's going on. The camera has to see that you are happy, that you are perfect. So you can tell Beyonce has trained herself to do that for years. No matter what, smile, and that's what happened. And I remembered when they was getting into the limo. Solange got in the limo. I think Beyonce got in the limo first. Solange got in right behind her. Jay-Z had attempted to get in with the both of them. And I remember the security guard stopped him and was like, no, shit too hot right now. You go in the other limo. So they separated them. And that was a red flag to me that Beyonce had been going through a lot of bullshit with Jay-Z. It been a lot of disrespect. It been a lot of mistreatment. Cause she did not fight to be with her husband. She stood by her sister. And I felt like she stood by her sister because she was relieved that somebody came to her defense, and she felt like she owed her sister that. Because sometimes, let's face it, sometimes these women, they don't have the balls, they don't have the courage to stand up to their abusive ass husbands or whatever. So sometimes family has to intervene. Emily did the same thing with Fabulous. I mean, when her father and her brother had to get on Fabulous, for beating on her, fighting her, you know what I'm saying? Because, if you have a daughter, you have a sister, you have a female in your family, and that's your relative, and they're getting beat on and attacked by their boyfriends or their husbands, you're going to feel some type of way. Period. You know what I'm saying? So as much as you may not want to get involved, or you may want to be on some, well, that's their business, that got nothing to do with me. If it happens to somebody you love, your daughter, your mom, or your sister, you're going to feel some type of way. So this just goes to show that a lot of these couples are under a lot of pressure because they're constantly being scrutinized. So that I believe that is part of the reason why these celebrity couples end up having the most volatile, toxic relationships, because it's a lot of pressure to put up this front. You have to smile in front of the camera. You have to pretend, that y'all are happy. And the truth is, it's really mentally tearing you apart. It's tearing you apart mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, because eventually you get tired of putting up this front. No different than Khalees and Nas. Khalees tried to preserve this image that her and Nas was in a good place, and she ended up saying later on down the line that I was miserable, I was being abused. Nas is not this perfect intellectual guy y'all think he is, and a lot of people, defended Nas and felt like Khalees was the damn drama queen. Nas is a chill, laid back dude. So if things didn't work out, evidently she was the problem. A lot of people on the outside speculating, and they want to defend who they want to defend for whatever reason. But the truth is, nobody knows what really went down. Like my father said, there's always three sides to a story: her side, his side, and the truth. So you have Nas fans that was defending Nas, Khalees fans that was defending Khalees. Same thing with this Quavo and Saweetie situation. Everybody thought they was the power couple, because they around here splurging big dollars, big monies, acting like they're living their best life, living it up. He bought her a Bentley that he ended up repossessing. And everybody kept saying from the beginning that they felt like Saweetie never had the best of Quavo's intentions, because everything with her was money and how much they spend and splurge. Pretty much kind of like Gucci Mane's wife, Keisha K.O. Same thing. Everything with her is about how much money they spend, where they shop at, where they splurge at, what they buy, what this and that. And these couples that try to make everything seem like it's so grand behind closed doors, it's a totally different story from the fantasy that they're trying to convince us to believe. So the recent thing was, with this situation with Chet Hanks, from what I gathered, basically from what I read about the story, he ends up filing a lawsuit against his ex-girlfriend, and then she obtains a restraining order against him after January. Now, the crazy part was this video that's going viral of Chet Hanks, all of this happened in January. You would have thought it would have happened like last night, the way everybody's blowing it up. And that's how these content creators are. They get a hold of something and they just want to run raggedy with it just to prove a point that either black men ain't shit or black women ain't shit, or that's why you don't need to swirl, because even when you go to the other side, it ain't no better over there. You know what I mean? And everybody's missing the overall point. It's not about a black woman, a white woman, or a black man or a white man. It's about the fact that you are dealing with some people in this world that are toxic, that are just not good with relationships. So anyway, there's a lot going on with Chet Hanks and his ex-girlfriend Kiana Parker. According to TMZ, they had obtained a video of a violent altercation that took place back on January 8th at his place in Sugar Land, Texas. In the video, Kiana can be seen holding a pot in her hand Chet alleges that she threatened him with the knife. She then hits the camera as he records, and the video then cuts to Chet with blood on his face. The site reports that Kiana obtained a restraining order against Chet in January after she alleged that he roughed her up more than once between October 2020 and January 2021. When it comes to Chet, he recently filed a lawsuit for the January 2021 incident. He claims things started when he broke things off with Kiana after he learned that she allegedly stole from him. He claims she charged thousands of dollars on the credit cards and got away with some of his property as well. He is now suing her for assault, battery, theft, and return of his money she stole allegedly. Chet recalled the January 8th altercation and claimed that she showed up at his home that day with 3 men and alleged one of them waved a gun at him. However, Kiana says she showed up at the house with movers as she tried to retrieve her things. She alleges that Chet was antagonizing her and he grabbed a knife in a menacing way. She says that is when she picked up the pot in self-defense. She alleges she was chased into the streets when she claimed she was attacked until someone came to help her. Kiana detailed another alleged incident that occurred when they were in New Orleans while Chet was shooting for the Showtime show Your Honor. She claims that Chet became upset when she was leaving the room at the Renza Court Hotel to get food. She alleged Chet grabbed her by the wrist and started to fling her around the room. The allegations go as far as him allegedly knocking over tables, throwing bottles at her, chasing her down the hotel's hallway, and allegedly telling her that no one will believe her because she is just a ghetto black bitch. Kiana is looking to make the temporary restraining order against him permanent. Her attorney tells TMZ that she is under a doctor's care at the moment and she tried to swerve Chet to no availability. She has reportedly gone as far as reaching out to his parents as well. Chet's attorney told TMZ the day after Chet Hanks confronted Kiana about stealing money from his credit card. Ms. Parker was accompanied by a huge male carrying a gun. She viciously attacked Chet with a knife, which caused him to profusely bleed. It is all on video, and the undisputed video tells the whole story. Her claims are completely false, fabricated, and fictional. So, basically, as you can see, a lot of content creators, they had already covered the story, and everybody just want to focus on the fact that here it is, another swirling dysfunctional couple. Here it is, a crazy black bitch that got with a white man and thought she was gonna have it easier when she crossed over. You know, it's the simple fuckery that these black content creators want to keep promoting. And the whole bottom line is this was a very volatile, toxic relationship. I'm not looking at color. I'm looking at two individuals that made it very evident that they are not good for each other under any circumstances. And you have a lot of couples who function like this. You have a lot of couples that function in a dysfunctional manner. You have couples where, as I mentioned before, it's normal for them to fight and physically put their hands on each other. And as I stated, it's worse for these Hollywood couples because they got this image they have to preserve. Secondly, there's a lot of temptation. There's a lot of temptation. A lot of these females in the industry will get with these industry dudes for money and to earn clout by being their trophy, being their arm candy. And then when these women get with these men, basically for notoriety, they find out the hard way that, yeah, you're with him, you done got with him, and even though he's giving you the privilege of enjoying his lifestyle, where you were able to have to drive his Bentley, you were able to get the VIP, you were able to pop bottles, you're able to enjoy all the privileges of his lifestyle. But now you're finding out there's a lot of bullshit that comes along with it. You got to deal with all these groupies that are constantly throwing themselves at your man. You got to worry about your man falling into the entrapment of temptation, because let's face it, when these high value men or these successful men, these athletes, these rappers, these producers, these men that are in the industry, and they are a gold diggers magnet, they become thought magnets. It's a lot that you have to go through. These men know they have options. So the moment you and him have a disagreement, or you don't want to kiss his ass, either he's threatening you that shit. I can always get somebody better. I put you on to the new. I put you on to this life. You know what I'm saying? If you can't deal with the shit that I'm giving to you, then you welcome to bounce. I could always replace you. I got plenty of women lining up at my door waiting to be in your shoes. So a lot of these females, they have this pressure of they don't want to be with these industry niggas, because they find out these industry niggas is a lot that comes with the territory in an event, in the sense of you want to have a relationship with them and build with them. You got to deal with the fact their lifestyle. They're always on the road. They're always on tours. They always got bitches throwing themselves at them. There's going to be plenty of nights he's not going to be able to pick up the phone because he's in the studio or he's doing shows and stuff like that. And don't let it have been an incident in which you already found out he cheated on you before. Your paranoia is going to be 20 times higher. And you're not going to be always able to follow them. You can't follow these athletes and stars everywhere they go, even if you're their girlfriend. So if they go on tour for like a week or two, you cannot go up there in his hotel room and stay there and babysit him day in and day out. So it's a lot of issues that come along with being somebody in the industry. And then the men that are in the industry, they have a lot of pressure on them as well. It's hard to please a woman, hard to please your wife. Make your woman satisfied. Make her feel secure when you're going on the road, when you're in the studio, when you're doing shows. Some of these women, they just don't get it. They don't get that when you're with a man in the industry, he's not going to always have time to talk to you. He's not always going to have time to try to make you feel secure and confident that he's not out there fucking around. All of these guys in the industry, all of them are not dogs. Truth be told, a lot of them have had enough ass to where they already know is nothing to it. You know what I'm saying? So some of them do get to a place to where they really looking for a chill chick to settle down with and share their life with, because they didn't have they share groupies. But the thing is, they can't convince the women that. That's what happened with Usher's ex-wife. Usher's ex-wife, Tamika Raymond. But kind of found out he was cheating on her, though. But in the initial beginning, she had a lot of pressure. Because she was older than him. All of the women that was attracted to her husband was young. Still had tight bodies. All of these attractive young women. And here it is, she was this older woman. Who's already been married, already had children, you know what I mean? And she still lucked up and found a man that was willing to love her and be with her for who she was, but her insecurities ruined that. And Tamika Raymond ended up admitting that she was the cause of why her and Usher Raymond did not work out. She was already insecure. She was already threatened by all of the women who desired them. And it's sad, but you got some women, they can be threatened just by the fact that somebody else desires their husband. Their husbands don't even have to be fucking around. Just the fact that they know other women want their man is enough to make them insecure as hell. And it's hard for a man to try to constantly make a woman feel secure when she's already made up in her mind that I know you gonna fuck around on me. I know you fucking around on me, or I know you want to fuck around on me. It's hard to try to prove your loyalty to somebody who's already got it made up in their mind that you just gonna fuck around no matter what. And you got guys that's not even in the industry that got to go through that. You know, they just got wives, they got girlfriends that's insecure. But at the same time, if you have fucked around on her before and she forgave you, and don't let it happen more than one time, and you decide to stay, then guess what? You got to deal with the ridicule. You know what I'm saying? If you can't, you cheated on the woman, you disappointed her, you hurt her, and now you can't deal with the raft of it where she's calling you every 2 minutes, finding out where you at, especially if she's still willing to deal with you. You can't handle it, then you need to be honest and tell her, yeah, I know I fucked around and disrespected you, but if you're looking for me to still prove that I'm not doing anything wrong or I'll never hurt you again, I don't think I can really hold myself to that. Because you're going to call me all the time. You're going to always expect me to pick up the phone. I'm not willing to go that far, even though I hurt you, to prove that I would never hurt you again. You know, so it's a lot that creates these relationships to be toxic. When there's, again, like I said, in the industry, it's worse. Because, again, there's groupies, there's money. Money is the biggest. You would think money would be one of the reasons that a relationship would be would last longer, that a relationship would have more potential, being that income is not the issue. A lot of people think that. A lot of people think that couples who are well off and have money, they stand a better chance of having a successful relationship, and that is far from the truth. If anything, couples who have money, they stand least of a chance of surviving, because it's that attitude of, I don't have to put up with your shit. I got money in the bank. Why you think Jennifer Lopez is on husband number 6, number 7? She don't have to deal. She don't have to wait for a man to grow up and get to that point to where he's ready to be a husband. She feels like, shit, you ain't ready to be who you are right then and there. Guess what? I don't have to deal with it, because I make my own money. I'm independent. When you're a woman and you're kind of in a struggle when it comes to a relationship, you learn to be a little bit more patient. You know, you get tired of dealing with the immature bullshit, but at the same time, realistically, you know, you don't have it like that to be so choosy and just give up the moment there's an obstacle or there's a challenge. So a woman who's in a struggle, she tends to be a little bit more realistic and knows that she has to allow a man time to get through the bullshit until he gets to that place, or not even commit to him until he gets to that place. Women with money, they don't feel like they have to use their best judgment. That's why Nicki Minaj picked petty pedophile, because it's that thing of, I have money, so being that I already have everything, I'm automatically entitled to a husband. I'm automatically entitled to the full package. I got the fame, I got the money, I got the house. Now I should be able to have the husband. And being successful and being independent, ladies, does not make you entitled to a husband. That you can have all of those things and it still does not make you wife material. No more than a man who thinks because he's a high value man, because he's successful, because he wears suits and Armani shoes, he thinks he's automatically entitled to a good wife. No, you're not. You may be entitled to a bigger bank account because of your success. You may be entitled to a bigger house because of your success. But your arrogance and your cockiness and your disrespect for women is the reason why you may need to be by yourself. It has nothing to do with your success, your degrees, or how much notoriety you got. You know what I'm saying? So success does not automatically make a person entitled to a wife or a husband. And so, getting back to this point involved, talking about these toxic relationships, you have a lot of people that are still together, not because they want to be, but because they have become conditioned to each other. And that's the worst type of relationship you can be in, is when you're still together only because y'all have been with each other so long. Both of y'all are fretful to move on. You are so afraid that if you move on, the man that's doing you wrong, you know you and him aren't compatible, but you're afraid that if you leave him, he's going to get his shit together for the next bitch. So you rather stay in that relationship and be miserable than to sacrifice and let him go, meaning that even if he does get it together with the next woman, even if he does do better with the next woman, you know in your heart and your mind and body and soul, he was not trying to do that with you. So there's no need for you to have regrets. Same thing. You have some men that are with toxic females because she's beautiful. She's fine. He probably never had a woman that attractive before in his lifetime. So to have a woman so attractive, that's willing to be with him when he's never had women that beautiful or whatever, he may be willing to take more bullshit than he normally would take. Or because there's children involved, he don't have to pay child support. He don't have to pay allotment and alimony. So he would rather stay in a relationship, be miserable, deal with side chicks on the side to get him through his misery with his stale, boring ass marriage, then it just leave it. So a lot of people are remaining in toxic relationships for all the wrong reasons. And what it does, that toxicity tends to fester. Toxicity, I guess that's how they say it. Yeah, toxicity. It continues to fester. It continues to manifest. Because your money is not going to compensate. I don't care how many trips y'all go on to try to escape the madness. I don't care how much you shop. If y'all get a bigger home, a bigger car, you try to replace all of these things to try to fulfill that void in your marriage and your relationship. And the truth is, the marriage, the relationship, it just has reached its breaking point. There is nothing else left to do to save it or preserve it. Melanie Holt, from the show Love and Marriage in Huntsville. Again, her husband had a lot of success together. They was like a power couple. You know, they both had real estate agencies. They had beautiful children. And it was not enough to make him stop being a male whore, a male Jezebel. He was still out here fucking around on her, even with all the businesses they had, all of the success, the beautiful houses, the beautiful children. He still stepped out on his wife, knocked up some young chicken head broad, knocked her up, got her pregnant, you know, and on top of that, you already fucking around on me, but then you're coming home and being disrespectful, you know. She had reached her breaking point when she realized that their success, their businesses, their money, it was not going to withhold the marriage because too much disrespect had basically tainted that. You know, so she ended up having to leave, you know, and that was a very hard decision for her to make because she wanted her marriage to work. And that's the biggest challenge, that a lot of women really want their marriages to work. A lot of married women, we catch a lot of heat. A lot of married women catch a lot of heat. Especially from women on the outside who have never been married. They automatically feel that married women who go through the things that they go through, they already look at us as weak. They look at us as docile. They look at us and perceive us as not having a backbone and low self-esteem. But the truth is, the way marriage works, marriage comes for better or for worse. And you don't get to choose what's going to be the better and what's going to be the worst. Now, people hear these vows all the time, but they really don't understand the significant meaning of them. Meaning that you cannot just love me at my best. You can't only love me when I'm being a good wife and I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, you know, giving you the best sex, you know, massaging you, making you feel like the king of the jungle. You can't only love me when I'm being everything you want me to be, when I'm doing everything you want me to do. Same thing. You can't only love a man at his best when he's bringing home a big check every month. When he's winning all the games. When he's putting you in the biggest, finest houses. When he's buying you the brand new, spectacular car. I mean, that is when you love him. When he can do everything for you to make you happy. But for every blessing, there's a burden, and for every burden, there's a blessing. If you gonna deal with somebody at their best, guess what? You also have to accept them at their worst. Meaning that at some point in time, the man that you love or the woman that you love, they are going to disappoint you. They're going to do something that could render possibly you leaving them, you divorcing them. Because the truth is, some of us know exactly what we're doing, but in some cases, we don't plan to fuck up. We put ourselves in positions where we compromise our morals, where we dance with the devil, and we put ourselves in tempting situations, knowing that we don't have that much willpower. And when shit happens, now we got a broken home, a broken marriage, and and Lord knows, don't let the whole world know about it. Now you have all these outsiders that's dogging your wife, dogging your husband, telling them they stupid for sticking with you, telling you stupid for sticking with them. All of these people who really don't have no room to judge, because half of them didn't even get married and do it the right way. They didn't even try to do it the right way. A lot of them don't even get along with their baby mama. They don't even get along with their baby daddy. So basically, you have couples that endure all of these hardships, and they're able to get past it and find a way to move forward, and instead of allowing the situation to make them more bitter, what they did was they made that situation to make them better. They've grown from it. It's been relationships in which cheating has happened, adultery has happened, but instead of that situation basically being used as a weapon to for them to harm or attack each other with, you have some couples that have grown from that. They are actually mentoring other couples because they have gone through it. Their marriage has strengthened because it took him fucking up to realize, damn, I had a good wife. I let this outside bitch, I let my dumb ass get involved with this, appetizer, because I'm thinking what she had was fulfilling me, but it was only fulfilling me for the moment. Well, all along, I already had a good wife. All women, I messed around in their husbands, got with a dude, realized dude ain't shit. You jeopardized your marriage over a bum dude that really couldn't do nothing for you but just give you some good wood, when your husband may have been a little boring and he may have not been very adventurous, but he provided for you, he took care of you. So sometimes, I say that to say this, sometimes people got to fuck up, make bad decisions in order for them to realize what they have. Some people ain't no hope. And when they have been a repetitive cheating, it's been numerous occasions, they getting all type of chicks knocked up and all kind of stuff like that. Or you got female wives who done cheated on their husbands, and they took it to another level by sleeping with their homeboy, their best friend, knowing this was a man who was coming over and to y'all barbecue grills and stuff like that. You violated the bro code. Some things are just unacceptable. Some things are just unforgivable. But guess what? We don't get to choose what's unforgivable to a person. You have some men who wives been with their best friend and they still married to them women. They found a way to get past it, and everything's cool. And you have some women who have had their husband step out on them and violate the code and mess with their best friend and stuff. And guess what? They still together. Now, on the outside, other people going to look at it like, damn, well, they stupid, they dumb. She must have low self-esteem. She must don't think she can do any better. Look, everybody's tolerance level is different. It's going to be shit you going to deal with that somebody else ain't going to deal with, and vice versa. It's going to be stuff that somebody else going to deal with that you ain't going to deal with. And it's stuff you done dealt with that other people not going to deal with. So everybody knows their own tolerance level. So with these relationships, these toxic relationships, that's why I felt I needed to basically do a content on this and address this, because it's happened a lot. Like the Ray Rice, the elevator incident. A lot of these men have lost endorsements, some of them even lost their careers at one point in time. Chad Ochocinco lost his career at one point because they got into a physical altercation with Evelyn Lozada. And I want to say this respectfully without condoning violence, but you have some women who really think they can get away with doing what they want to do to men, and they think men are going to give them a pass and not attack them because they're a woman. Now, me personally, I am not going to challenge a man physically, because these days, back in the day, you used to challenge a man physically and men wouldn't even respond. Or if they did respond, they'll just laugh at you. I mean, you can hit a guy and he'll laugh at you. No matter how hard you used to hit a man, he will sit down and laugh at you and just take it like, oh, you ain't doing nothing with that, which would make a woman feel 20 times smarter. And the man knew he didn't have to hit her back because he already knew his strength. And what he would do to irritate her is just let her do all the hitting, and he would laugh at her. But now men aren't laughing anymore. They aren't taking hits anymore like a champ. They will slap the taste out your mouth if you hit them. They will punch you like you a dude. Women, you just can't be challenging men these days. Because they're not taking it like they used to. These men are cut from another cloth. They don't know how to just not allow a woman, a female, to take him out of their masculine character to the point to where they ending up behind bars. They're losing endorsements, they're losing deals, they're losing a career, all because they allowed a woman's feminist challenges to basically get them to a point to where they feel like they got to prove their masculinity. Oh, you gonna talk to me like I'm a bitch? I'm gonna beat you up like you want. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's got to a point now, women, you got to realize you can't challenge these men all kind of way. You see them now. You see them on the elevator. They fighting back. They fighting you just like you another female in the club hanging out with somebody else man. They fighting you now. All that because they're a man. You can beat them down, slap them, and they not going to hit you back. Men hit back now. I remember my day, men didn't hit back. I remember in 4th and 5th grade, I could hit a boy and run. And he would think it's funny. I tell my daughter, don't you hit these guys. You can't even hit them and run like you used to could in 4th and 5th grade. You can hit a guy and say, tag, you it. You hit a guy these days and say, tag, you it. He'll pull out a gun and shoot you out of your damn head. That's the kind of generation we in. So, yeah. You have to be mindful of that. You have a lot of these toxic relationships, they have made it normal to fight and curse each other out. And I will let you know that if you are in a relationship that's like that, and every time there's a problem, y'all feel like the only way y'all can resolve it is by dragging each other, physically attacking each other, verbally badgering each other, fuck you, F you B, F you mother effer, and you suck my so-and-so. And, you know, it gets to a point to where if y'all have to do all of that, somebody needs to grow up, wave a truce flag, and in this relationship before it becomes any more volatile than what it already has. Especially if there's children involved. Especially if you have a career. Especially if you have a job. All that stuff get on your record. Domestic violence. Nobody wants to hire you with that type of offense. And that's for men and women. And women, you don't get a pass these days. The law have a design to where if you hit these men first, you going in. You going to jail. So that Me Too movement, that don't work like it used to. It works a little bit, but it don't work as much. They have proof that you hit these men first, you going to jail. I know because I work in the correctional facility with females who come in jail all the time for hitting a boyfriend. For threatening a boyfriend. There's a young lady in there right now who had an issue with her baby father and hit him with her car. Caused injury to him. He's not dead, but she caused him to be injured. She hit him with the car and then she left him there. So she got charged with a hit and run. She got charged with aggravated assault because, you know, vehicle's a weapon. Anytime you use it to run over somebody. So she's a young woman. Her life is practically, you know, going to be gone. She didn't kill him, so she ain't going to get no 30, 40 years, but she going to get some time. And I ain't talking about no 2-3 years. We possibly looking at 8 to 10 years or more. You know, all because she has become accustomed to being toxic. And that's the worst thing any man or woman can do. I guarantee this situation with Chet Hanks, both of them played a part in it. Both of them played a part in it. It's never just one person. It's never, it was just the man who did it all. Or it was just the woman who did it all. 9 out of 10, both of them played a part in that relationship becoming volatile. And becoming dysfunctional. So, regardless of who started it or who's hitting each other the most, I am dead set against domestic violence. I'm dead set against it. No man, no grown ass man should be putting his hands on a woman all because you don't feel like there's no other way you can get her to respect you. There's no other way you get her to control you. And trust and believe, I've seen guys that have been so in love with a certain woman where he loved her so much, instead of letting her go so he can be at peace, he would rather control her and make her love him the way that he loves her. You have a lot of young men, you have a lot of men who love hard. And one thing about men and women when it comes to love, men love hard, but they don't love often. So when a man does love hard, he really loves. Women, we love all the goddamn time. We fall in love within 2 days after you done took us out to eat. But men, they don't love easily. So when they do love, a lot of the times they express it in a way in which it comes off as volatile. When really, he just really wants this woman to love him the way that he loves her. And he feels like the only way he can make her understand that is by putting his hands on her, jacking her up, grabbing on her. Now, am I saying this is right? Absolutely not. Am I saying I agree with it? Absolutely not. But what I am saying is, some people, they function dysfunctionally. You got some men who feel like they got to put their hands on their woman in order for her to feel like he loves her. See, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't do anything. I would just sit there and just let you do what you want to do. I love you. That's why I be beating on you and fighting you, because I don't want you disappointing me. I don't want you leaving me. You got some narcissistic, physically abusive men who think like this. And then you have abusive women. You have some women who love to challenge men. Love to challenge men. You got women who love to fight men physically, start the fight, and then will call the law and make it seem like the man hit her, when really she's in her feelings because she caught a message in his text phone or something like that. So she wants to burn him and sting him, instead of looking later on down the line, okay, I'm mad right now, but I don't want this man to lose his job. I don't want to call this man probation officer. I don't want to, you know what I mean? I'm mad, but I don't want to fuck him up too bad. But you got some women so evil and so vindictive. They would go so far as to, they know a man already on parole, they'll call his parole officer. Or they know a man just got his job and need the money to pay the bills, they'll cause him to get locked up so he loses his job. All women are not innocent. All women are not innocent. They do vindictive, conniving ass bullshit in the heat of the moment, because they want that man to do what they say do. And because he's not going to do what the hell she say, oh, I'm going to make you do what I need you to do. If I got to call your PO, you got women who would threaten a man about calling his PO, and that's an unfair fight. You know the man can't afford to get in no more trouble. You know he cannot afford to get in that situation. And here it is, you using your advantage to hurt him, to harm him. And you have men who have done it. I've known men who got so angry with their baby mama, knowing she live in housing, he will call housing and report on her and snitch on her and tell housing, oh, well, I was living with her for the last couple of months. You know how many females lost housing, lost food stamps, lost government assistance, all because they pissed their baby daddy off, talking crap to the man. So he said, okay, I'm going to fix you. You think you better than me because you got housing? You think you better than me because they gave you stamps? Well, how about I let them know that I've been staying over there well over 2 weeks, and you're not even supposed to have a man staying in your Section 8 governmental housing. So basically, a lot of relationships do function dysfunctionally. And I would say if you are in a relationship like that, it is totally, totally unhealthy. It is not normal. It is not normal. The only way you can gain respect, I got to cuss you out. I got to beat your ass. I got to slap you. And it's so many ways to abuse somebody. Like you have some men I know who never put their hands on a woman, who never cussed out a woman, but he get mad with her. He will intentionally not give her no money. He will intentionally not provide, knowing they got kids together. I've known some men who have done that. Their wife won't kiss their ass. Their baby mama won't kiss their ass. I tell you what, I'm not giving you no money for our kids because you mad with me. You want to make our children suffer. You got some men that act like women. They get just that petty. They won't even get their own kids just to piss you off. And you got women who do it. You got women because they so mad they won't even let you see your own children. Won't let you get them for the weekend. You could be paying your child support on time and everything. Because she mad and she in her feelings because you won't kiss her ass, or you got your new life, a new wife, and you not running behind her. You know, she'll pull all kind of devilish stunts just to suck you in and put you back in that space of feeling like I got to kiss her ass. You know what I mean? So I'm just tired of this black and white thing. We want to make it black. We want to make it white. What this is a dysfunctional thing. You got grown men and grown women who do not know how to deal with their anger issues. You have a lot of grown men and grown women who don't know how to goddamn communicate. They do not know basic verbal skills. They don't know how to listen. They don't know how to wait till one person gets their point across. Then you come in and say what you have to say. No, it's the screaming match, this yelling match. Who can get the most curse words out? Who can get the most vulgar and disrespectful? You know, so again, all of these Hollywood relationships, they're like Kramer, Saweetie, and Chet Hanks, and Race Rice, and Danny Vasquez, you know, Chad Wheeler. All of these people, y'all think because people are millionaires, they don't have issues. I don't care if he's the best quarterback. He could be the best alcoholic too. Probably drank his ass off after every goddamn victory. And guess who has to deal with it? The wife or the girlfriend who lives with him. He coming home drunk, cussing, saying all kind of disrespectful stuff to kids. Don't even want to come out their room and speak to them. You have some men so abusive, they set the tone for their whole house. As soon as they pull up in the yard, nobody wants to talk to them. As soon as they come in the house, the kids walk away, the wife, everybody goes and finds their own secluded space because nobody wants to deal with his abuse. Because when he gets drunk, he has no filter. He don't care what he say or how he say it. You know, and then you have some women also, you know, who are very volatile in their own way. You got some women, they will challenge a man just so he can fight her. Because you have some women who are used to being physically abused. You have some women, their boyfriends, their fathers abused them and taught them that if you love me, you'll let me abuse you. So you have a lot of these women, they got this mixed signal because a man ain't beating their ass. They feel like the man don't love them. I know a guy who told me one time, he had a female challenge him one time when they got in an argument and she pushed him. No, he pushed her. No, she pushed him, my bad. She pushed him. And he won't push her back. She considered him weak. She said, I know you don't love me. You never cared about me. And he was like, how did you figure that? He said, because she was like, because you won't fight me back. Every man who ever said he loved me, well, he fought me. This chick had basically conditioned herself to believe that the only way a man had any love for her, he would have to physically fight her. And you'll be surprised, that is how a lot of these couples have learned how to function through dysfunction. And they have learned how to normalize toxicity in their relationships. And then you have other couples who think they can always fucking fight their way through everything. No matter how much they fight, they just have sex. Have sex and fight. Fight and have sex. And sex is nothing but a temporary band-aid until they really get down to the issue of being able to really communicate their issues and really discuss these issues and resolve these issues. Sex is nothing but, you know, a temporary feeling. All it does is it makes you feel good for the moment, but it does not terminate the issues, the underlying issues that is constantly transpiring in that relationship. And you have a lot of couples that do that. They cannot connect mentally, spiritually, emotionally. The only time they can connect is when their penis and their vagina is connecting in the bedroom. Outside of that bedroom, they cannot communicate. They cannot vibe. There's no intellectual conversation. There's nothing else to keep that relationship stimulated. And that's what causes relationships to develop into toxicness. Because you're not dealing with the issues. You're basically trying to medicate those issues. If they're not medicating it through sex, they're medicating it through smoking, getting high, drinking all the time. You have a lot of couples, they deal with their issues through drugs, through substance abuse. Again, instead of communicating, instead of getting help, seeking counseling, something that's going to be edifying, and that's something that's going to actually be effective, they'll drink or they'll smoke. They cover up their misery and their dysfunctions amongst one another through drinking and getting high. So you have some couples who function like that. A lot of these couples, like I said, that, Hollywood is put on the pedestal, you would totally be surprised at what they go through behind closed doors. All of these couples, these Hollywood couples, Quavo and Saweetie, that has not been the first time they have pushed and shoved each other. You better believe that. This is not the first time. You're not going to, for you to be that comfortable in public doing that, because for me personally, getting on the elevator with my husband, I don't care how angry I am, I know there's somebody watching. You have security watching cameras. You have any given moment, you can get off the elevator and other people coming on the elevator. They can sense that something is wrong. They can sense that something happened. So me personally, I never was one to display my anger. I've always been one to try to control my anger. Me and my husband has always agreed that no matter how angry or upset we get with each other, we're not going to display that in public. We're not going to cuss each other out in public. We're not going to put our hands on each other in public. That is just something that's one of our 10 commandments. Thou shalt not embarrass each other in public. But couples that are toxic and volatile, they fight so much behind closed doors, they don't even know how to be careful with it in public. They don't even know how to be discreet with it in public. That's how I know Quavo and Saweetie, this relationship has been turbulent. It's been toxic and volatile. And what has happened is it just finally came to the forefront, like a lot of them. With Chet Hanks, has not been the first time. And I know it hasn't been because she has records where she put restraining orders on him. He had filed restraining orders against her and suing her for stealing from him. The relationship been rocky. It's been turbulent. And again, I'm so tired of people with this black and white. Y'all can't wait for a black woman to get exposed in a relationship as the abuser, or she's the one getting abused, or y'all can't wait to see a successful black man be exposed to be the abuser or the one who's getting abused by a woman of non-color, because again, it helps to promote your narratives that black women and black men aren't worth loving. We're dysfunctional human beings. We're not worth investing a relationship or having something solid with. This is the narratives that we are really promoting. We're doing more harm than good. So basically, I'm not going to ramble on about this. Like I said, it's so many couples that are putting up a front. That's why I don't idolize these relationships. I don't care if you're Beyonce and Jay-Z, Whitney, Bobby Brown. We saw how their marriage unraveled right before our eyes, It's so many of them. And it's not just black couples, white couples. Hulk Hogan and his wife, Linda Hogan. All those years of being married together. They end up going their separate ways. He ended up marrying somebody younger, and so did she. It's so many examples. It just goes to show you that money and fame and success does not make people compatible. It does not keep a marriage together. Now, all of y'all need to miss me with these negative perceptions about black love. That black women can't keep no black man and black men can't keep nobody, because there's plenty of black couples that are still going strong and solid. You got Denzel Washington and his wife Pauletta Washington. Denzel Washington hasn't been in no scandals. You haven't heard about him coming out hotel rooms messing with young floozies or whatever. If he was really smart with it, because we've never heard about it. We never saw it in magazines or whatever. We never seen paparazzi put it out there. Samuel L. Jackson and his black wife have been together for years. She was with him at the height of his career. Morris Chestnut and his wife. LeBron James and his wife Savannah. The list goes on. Black love does exist. Okay, there's some bomb ass black women out there, and there's some bomb ass black men out there who know how to love a woman and make a woman feel like a queen, knows how to make a man feels like he's a king. Is women out there that are doing that. Black love is still existing. I don't care what these dating coaches say, these YouTube pastors say. I mean, I understand we don't have the best of examples with Derek Jackson and T.I. and Tiny. I'm sure all you see is the negative. But there is real black love out here that's going hard, going strong. People are overcoming their obstacles. I mean, Jay-Z and Beyonce had their share of being exploited, and Jay-Z has come clean and stated that he has messed around and cheated. But guess what? They have found a way to suppress that, and they didn't allow their circumstances to end their union. So you have people that are making the best of their marriages and their relationships. They're not letting naysayers and outsiders dictate how they feel about each other. And really, that's the only way you're going to have a really loving, fulfilling marriage and relationship. You cannot let outsiders opinion matter more to y'all than what y'all matter to each other. And as far as all these couples that are physically fighting and putting their hands on each other, both of y'all are just going to continue to ruin each other. Doesn't matter who does it most, who started it first. Somebody's going to have to be man enough or woman enough to walk away, or either y'all both seek psychiatric help. Either way, something's going to have to give, or else you're going to be like one of these couples. It's going to hit the surface where you're going to end up disgracing each other publicly. And then it's going to continue to get more toxic, because now you got paparazzi involved. You got fans involved. You got all these outsiders. And once outsiders make their way in, your relationship definitely stands no chance of surviving. So I thought it was imperative that I talked about these toxic relationships, because again, y'all making it a black and white thing when it's a dysfunctional thing. Okay, so it has nothing to do with, oh, she's a black woman, she asked for it because she's swirling. Or he's a black man with a white woman and he's swirling, so he's getting exactly what he deserves. I mean, it all boils down to the fact that you just got some people that are straight up immature. Everybody is not mature enough for relationships. Let's just be frank. You got some grown-ass men that are childish as hell, and you got some grown women that are childish as hell. You just got some grown people, they do not know how to have a relationship. Relationships are an adult responsibility. It's a responsibility when you're in a relationship with someone, because you are responsible for that person's feelings. They are responsible for your feelings. You both are responsible for how you treat each other. So anyway, y'all, leave y'all comment below. What do y'all think about these toxic relationships? At one point in time, did you experience a toxic relationship? Do you know people that's in a toxic relationship? Do you think toxic relationships can survive? Do you really think once it has reached a breaking point, there's no way it can be severed? Or is there a way, even, though a relationship can go through a toxic stage, that they can overcome it? I will be honest, I've had my share of, me and my husband have had toxic moments when things got really ugly and got out of hand. But of course, we were much younger then, and we're older now, and we're just in a different place, a different mindset. But definitely leave your opinion below. Let me know what you think. Please below before you leave, before you exit the stage. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share, you subscribe. If you haven't already joined, please make sure you do so. If you're not getting any of my notifications, unclick the bell and re-click the bell. That you might have to refresh notification bell. That way you can get all of my content. So y'all be blessed. Have a good one. This is your girl, your diva and knowledge, Lady Mocha. Remember, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always break you off a slice of knowledge. Y'all be blessed and take care. Until next time.